More suspects could be arrested in the so-called resurrection saga. This week, two men made a brief appearance in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court on fraud charges. Despite reports that Brighton Elliot Moyo is now dead, police are still on the hunt for him. Slindelo Masigane reports.
Rise up! Come on!
It's been almost 2 months since this video went viral. Now 35-year-old Nkululeko Dlamini and 40-year-old Silungisani Sibanda are facing 3 counts of fraud.
It died since Friday.
They're accused of being party to the highly orchestrated so-called resurrection of this man identified as Brighton Elliot Moyo. They allegedly approached 3 funeral parlors to hire a hearse and buy a coffin. The court case has been postponed to the 26th of April to verify Dlamini's citizenship.
The state is in possession of 2 documents, a South African document and a Zimbabwean document, which have conflicting information.
One of the funeral parlors involved says it suffered grave reputational damage and wants all involved to face the full might of the law.
This is only small fish. We want the big fish. Prosecuted or arrested and prosecuted according to the laws of South Africa, because what they've done to us was to tarnish our image very badly, and we have lost a lot of customers because of this stupid act.
Police still want the modern-day Lazarus, despite claims he's died of pneumonia in his hometown in Zimbabwe. Slindelo Masigane, Johannesburg.
The town of Orania has long been a polarizing feature of our society. The NCA election bus spent a day there. The crew tried to understand what motivates the community's need for an Afrikaner self-determination. My colleague Kolim Gambi sat down with community leaders.
We're trying to get the pulse of how South Africans feel, and as we were coming here, we were quite keen to hear what the rest of South Africa actually thinks of Orania. And let me just ask a question now that is based on what kind of feedback we've been getting. And these are people who want to know a little bit more. So how do you respond to this person who calls themselves Dumi Mlambo Kumalo, who says, tell them it's 2019. Their racism and tribalism belongs in the past. How do you respond to that person?
What I would like to tell him is that it's 2019 and we're in a situation where Afrikaans is under threat at universities. Afrikaner culture has been criminalized and vandalized all over the country. It's 2019 and there is on an application for a university I have to state my race because there are different scales for entry to a university based on your marks and your race. So if we can move away from those type of criminalization and those type of vandalizing of our monuments and our history, then we can have a rational discussion. But if people keep telling us that we are inherently, our language, Afrikaans, born on this continent, our name, Afrikaner, part of this continent, if people are going to keep on bashing that, then that is the reason why places like Orania would have to exist. And that's why it's so important for places like Orania to exist, because here we can preserve what other people are trying to break down.
Peter Kruger, would you welcome a black person who absolutely identifies, who actually lives the Afrikaans culture?
Well, you use the word Afrikaans now, and
Afrikaner.
It's Afrikaner.
Yeah.
What we have done, just to prove that it's not about race, is people have applied from other European countries to come and live in Orania. And it's white people I'm talking about, and they were declined rights because they were not identifying as Afrikaners. So you see, it is a process. I mean, it is self-identification regarding a culture, but to prove that it's about the culture specifically lies in the individual themselves. So they will have to go through a process where they actually come and say, but we really are Afrikaners, look at how we do. And there is a process regarding this as well. So in effect, yes, they can apply. But there is a process regarding this, and like I said, we have declined people from other European countries because it's really, truly not about whiteness. It is about the Afrikaner culture.
The Inkatha Freedom Party wants to take back KwaZulu-Natal. The party governed the highly contested province for a decade until 2004. Then the ANC took over. ENCA's Pamandla Goge filed this story.
The IFP says it has a proven track record in governance.
You can trust us to get the economy working, and you can trust us to promote social cohesion. You can trust us to be tough on crime, and you can trust us to fight gender-based violence. You can trust us to promote responsible land reform, and you can trust us to fix the education system. You can trust us to improve the health care system, and you can trust us to protect our environment.
And to make KwaZulu-Natal work again.
The party is pinning its hopes on this man as its KwaZulu-Natal premier candidate.
Level of abuse and violence against women and children are staggering. The IFP will champion the increase of financial support for Chapter 9 institutions such as the Commission on Gender Equality. It will champion the equal pay for equal job.
Despite its wishes, with these elections expected to be highly contested, the IFP may not be able to wrest back control of KwaZulu-Natal after all. But it's willing to enter into a coalition government with other parties should there be no clear winner. Siphamandla Koke, Pietermaritzburg, KwaZulu-Natal.
In the Northwest, sex workers are hoping politicians will address their rights. Many parties have been largely quiet on sex work. Health Workers Union, NAHAU, says the health department must get involved. Aldrin St-Pierre reported from Rustenburg.
Many activists have long called for the decriminalization of sex work. But while political parties chant election slogans, these workers are feeling left out. Sex workers like Dora, which is not her real name, are demanding legislation to regulate the industry.
Yeah, because ngoba ngiyavota ngihlezi ngivota ngicabanga ukuthi ngine right ukuthi ngibe free ngikhululeke.
She landed up on Haystack Street after being unable to find a job, but having to take care of her family comes at a cost.
Masime lapha estradeni ke kufika amaphoyisa afike ayenze ngathi asibopha kanti afuna imali abanye bafuna ukusilala. Ne community ama taxi driver nawo ayenza the same afika ashaye abanye bafuna ukusilala nabo bayenza the same.
Health Workers Union NAHAU says the health department must play a role.
You know that there are workers that are working in the mining industry. Health department plays a role, and all other workers in many sectors of the economy that we have.
But what do big political parties say? The ANC has called for decriminalization, but has given no detail about how this will work. The EFF has also called for sex work to be legalized, while the DA has been silent on the issue. Aldrin St-Pierre, Rustenburg.
When Week in One returns, we bring you details on strides made towards finding a cure for AIDS.